Different? the knight asked. Merlin nodded. Different? How? I can see things sometimes, things that will happen, and I can make potions that heal the sick. The knight raised his eyebrows. Well then, I understand why King Vortigern wants you. A king needs someone with your talents. Merlin sat quietly, not quite believing that this was the real reason the king wanted him. A prickling at the nape of his neck made him turn his head. The hooded man was looking directly at him, chanting quietly to himself, preparing to cast his runes again. In that moment, Merlin had never felt more afraid of anyone. Chapter 3. Wake up, boy. Merlin groaned as a hand shook him roughly awake. Opening his eyes, he blinked into the early morning light. Around him, the knights were busy packing up the camp. Only the hooded man remained still, ignoring the activity around him. What's happening? Merlin asked, shaking his head to clear it. We're moving out, the knight who'd tied his hands replied, frowning. Merlin frowned back. What are you looking at? You had nightmares last night. Do you know you talk in your sleep? What did I say? You spoke of dragons and fire. Dragons? Merlin had heard stories of dragons from old men in the village who had seen them in their younger days, fighting for King Vortigern's father. They hadn't been seen in years. But if Merlin had seen them in his dreams, then maybe... He glanced at the knight, wondering if he had heard tales too. Before he could ask, the knight was pulling Merlin to his feet. Come, we need to be ready to leave soon. Guiding him towards some trees, he added, You can relieve yourself over there. Merlin looked around, a plan already forming in his mind. Are you going to untie me? He asked. Sighing, the knight pulled out his dagger, easily slicing through the rope. Free at last, Merlin took a few steps forwards before he sprinted into the trees, easily dodging low-hanging branches and leaping over tree roots. His heart pounded as he heard shouts erupt behind him, and the knights began to give chase. Without looking back, Merlin sprinted on. Then suddenly he rose, suspended in mid-run above the ground. You cannot escape me, Merlin, the hooded man announced, stepping out from behind a tree just ahead. Merlin could feel the man's power squeezing him, holding him in place. What are you doing to me? He groaned, struggling against the invisible grip.